Good morning, everyone. My name is Pat Kennedy. I'm a director of a company called e-Tender Solutions Limited. We've a website called e-Tender.ie, which is a private sector procurement portal. I've been asked by CITA this morning to chair the meeting here on tendering. I've been recently made director of CITA for all my sins in the world. I'll just introduce the two speakers. I want to go through a small piece about my business, and then I want to introduce the idea of setting up a tendering group within the CITA network. So to give background to myself, I'm an engineer from UCD. I spent the last maybe 8 years as an energy cost consultant, going into many industrial sites and helping them to reduce their energy bills. In the last 2 years, we set up the e-Tender Solutions Limited, which is basically the idea of creating a tender portal for the industry to buy and supply. Something similar to the idea of the government's e-Tender portal, but we were providing something for the private sector. The idea came about, I was a founder of the magazine called Construct Ireland, and we used to, it's based on advertising media. So I was looking at the way businesses were advertising to try and find work. And also as an energy consultant, the main job of an energy consultant is to go in, look at projects, get capital costs, work out the return on investment, and see what find the cost savings and then work out the return on investment. So we're finding a lethargic process basically to get the capital costs and get kind of comparable costs, so we could work out the energy efficiencies. So then we came up with the idea of having a platform where buyers could find what they want and suppliers then could quote into it. And the current system was terrible. I mean, sending out quotations, looking out for emails, looking for reworks. Then when you do get back in all your quotations, they're all different. So they are. So the idea of the tender platform was that it's a simple platform that everyone uses. So I'll just go through a brief overview of what we do. Basically, it's an online tendering service. It works for the construction, engineering, and related industries. We're looking to branch out into other industries at the moment. That's fairly simple what it does. Buyers post tenders on the platform. Companies can then apply for these tenders. The company can then download all the relevant information. They upload their quotations. The buyer then can see all the different suppliers and their quotations, download them, and sorry, we're going quickly here. Download them to review them basically, so they're all meant to be comparable. The idea is that we've created a free platform for everyone to use, because it's all about critical mass. There's little point in creating a platform where you only have a certain number of companies involved. So the business model is based on the idea that it's free, everyone uses it, and then the suppliers pay just to unlock the tenders. So only companies that are actually interested in the tenders actually are applying for them. The benefits of why people post tenders on a site like this, it ensures competitive. I mean, a competitive process. If you go get a price from your regular supplier, at least when you're on this, people know, right, this is a competitive process. So they're not likely to kind of jack the price up a small bit, because they know they're kind of in a short list. It's quick and efficient. It's quick and efficient for both the buyers and the suppliers. The buyers don't have to print off the things. They don't have to email things. It's less rework. And the suppliers then, when they're creating their tender proposals, as opposed to 5 companies all doing the work on this data, it can be done centrally, and they all disseminate the information between them. It allows the buyer to make a more informed decision, because the quotations should be more comparable. They can manage the process online, so they can ask further questions, both the buyers and the suppliers. And it also allows people to find specialist contractors and services. So if you do have a little niche problem, you can put it up there, and you can ask the industry as opposed to the group of people that you might know. The types of tenders that can be posted on it. Obviously, architects, quantity surveyors. Then there's the kind of builders, subcontractor market. There's individuals then building their own home or their own retrofit. Engineering contractors, and then, energy professionals then looking to price up jobs. So it's basically the idea is you create a market for all these different sectors. There's a range of categories that we work through. And there are some of the features that the service provide. It's similar to the public sector tendering portal, but we do have our own unique selling points, or not unique selling points, but unique features because it is private sector. While in the public sector realm, they can just create a tender document and put it up. What we've done is we've created 100 plus categories, categories there, and each category has its own questionnaire. So the idea is that when people are posting tenders, the real important point is they put up the relevant information so that suppliers can actually quote properly. It doesn't work going back and forward. It ruins the efficiency of it. So for each category, be it for M&E engineers or be it for Windows, a questionnaire pops up which will ask them the relevant questions. So that means the relevant information goes through to suppliers. They can prepare proposals that are comparable. So you can set tender deadlines, attach your plans, drawings, photos, etc. Collects the information from relevant different tender categories. Suppliers can send queries then and back and forth the query system. You can manage multiple tenders. So if you have 5 projects, you can create project folders and put 10, 15 tenders in each folder, so you can manage it efficiently, and you can upload and download information. We launched the beta version of the site last year, and it's an open tendering service, so it's mainly being used by small home developers, some small commercial. In the next few months, what we're launching is the range of service, the features then for the quantity surveyors, architects, the more fresh into the market. They require closed tendering. They don't necessarily in all the cases want to send out the tender to the industry. They want to pick their guys they work with, but still want the benefits of the efficient tendering platform. So in the next couple of months, we'll be launching those sites. We'll also be launching the section that allows product and service comparison. So we'll have forms relevant to each sector, and each company will detail the product specs for their windows or doors, whatever the case may be. And then when you want to tender for a job or get quotations back, you can quickly pull up a table which compares the different products or different suppliers, and then you can send out the quotation. So it's a more efficient process in that respect. So that is my story. We'll be launching the next couple of months. We're looking for construction companies and engineering companies to talk to us if they'd like to do small case studies to demonstrate how the service can be used on a commercial level as opposed to just a domestic level. So if anyone's interested, you can talk to me afterwards. And that's my presentation on e-Tender.ie. So that is. Thank you very much. Moving along, I've also been asked by CITA as director of CITA, has been asked to start up the idea of creating a tendering group within CITA. Ralph Montague has set up a group there in the last few months on BIM, which has proved very successful. It basically gets people with an interest in the subject, gets them all together, tries to identify objectives of getting the BIM industry up and moving, and then the process involved in getting these objectives met. So we're looking to do something similar for the concept of tendering, and not necessarily e-tendering, but just the concept of tendering in total. Are looking to see was there companies that would be interested in getting involved. We've had some feedback already, and we got some ideas on what objectives could be, but we're still looking to talk to people regarding what you think would be good objectives. So the few objectives could be to encourage the development and education of tendering and strategic tendering both at graduate level and upskilling in the industry. We know there's a couple of courses now in DIT and DC who are offering a course in tendering, but just get the education levels up. Encourage small businesses in the construction sector to partake in public sector tendering. To encourage the Irish construction industry to tender for both public and private sector tenders in Northern Ireland and across the UK. To encourage the Irish construction industry to understand and partake in tendering possibilities in Eastern Europe, China, Africa and other developing nations. To educate the Irish construction industry in preparing effective proposals for home and international tenders. To encourage the concept of clustering in Irish construction sector and encourage businesses both small and large to form strategic alliances so they can effectively tender for work together from both home and abroad. This is quite important. The idea of that companies mightn't be, if you want to tender abroad, it's very difficult, or even tender in public sector contracts in Ireland, it's difficult for small companies to do often, especially when companies are downsizing. So the idea, if the industry could network and form strategic alliances among each other, groups of companies could have the capabilities to apply for bigger contracts. Encourage developers, quantity surveyors to move to online tendering, which brings cost and accuracy efficiencies both to buyers and suppliers. To work with the BIM group and see what barriers, opportunities are present for e-tendering in conjunction with the BIM packages. BIM allows you to extract information which could be transported or could be given straight directly to suppliers, which means more accurate proposal and tendering. There is significant potential for the construction and engineering industry in the Irish energy efficiency industry, both domestic and industrial. Often a major barrier to the implementation of many energy efficiency projects is the costing and calculation of ROI. So there's many businesses and homes are interested in the concept of starting an energy efficiency project, and often the barrier is they just don't know how to get prices and how to calculate a return on investment. So if we look at this as a tendering problem and facilitate that better, we could actually encourage more industry and domestic to implement their ideas of energy efficiency. And if they have 10 ideas on how to improve efficiency, tender for them all and find the 3 that actually work and implement them. And that's the concept behind some of the concepts behind the tendering group in CITA. We'll form a group similar to BIM on LinkedIn. You can ask people to join. Whoever's interested can chat to me afterwards. And with that all said, I will just introduce. We have 2 speakers here today. The first speaker is Justin Noonan. He's a costing consultant in construction informatics services. Justin is a researcher and cost consultant at CIS. He has a degree in geomatics and has a part-time master's in quantity surveying in DIT Bolton. He's also a graduate member of SCS and RICS. His presentation title is Online Market Intelligence, a Response to Market Demand. It looks at the changing patterns of demand for project-specific information within the construction sector and how these demands lead to the creation of online market intelligence database. The presentation will also identify and illustrate current opportunities for construction companies. We also have a presentation from Jimmy Walsh, a bid support consultancy at Tender Team. Jimmy Walsh is the director of bid support consultancy Tender Team. He is a founder, member and managing director of Dara Creative, one of Ireland's leading design consultancies. Jimmy holds a BCom degree, NUIG, and is a graduate of Marketing Institute of Ireland, and is an active member of Dublin Chamber and is a former treasurer of Business Design Ireland. Jimmy will be talking on tender preparation, design and presentation. So thank you for your time.